Children, take out lesson number 5, Chinese civilization. Again, the history of Chinese civilization is traced back to over 4,000 years ago. It is one of the oldest and long-lasting civilization of the world. Chinese, again, China is different from the other civilization because the culture that developed in the ancient China became the culture of the China that exists today. Again, and this extent of this civilization which are flourished around 1800 BCE on the bank of river Hwangho Ho. The meaning of Hwangho Ho is yellow river. Again, like other rivers beta, Hwangho Ho brought a rich soil and it also provides abundant water for the cultivation to this civilization. Unlike other rivers beta, Hwangho Ho often changes its course after floods. After the floods, this led to the destruction of crops and the canals. People on its bank faced many problems. For this reason, Hwangho Ho is also called the sorrow of China. Early times, the Chinese built dikes and embankment along the river to control the flood. Fertile soil and abundant water, and we were having again a temperate climate. Temperate means moderate climate. Not temperate here means that not too cold, not too hot. And the waterways also helped the Chinese civilization to progress and flourish itself. Now, Chinese civilization beta, throughout the most of the China's history, this Chinese civilization was ruled by the powerful families which were called dynasties. They ruled about 3,000 years. The Chinese civilization classified according to these dynasties only. First is Shang dynasty, then is Zhou dynasty or Zhou dynasty, Han dynasty. And a period is given here. Shang dynasty again 1600 BCE to 1046 BCE it ruled, and Zhou dynasty ruled from 1046 to 256 BCE, and this Han dynasty again ruled from 250 to 220 CE. This Hwangho Ho is the third longest river in the Asia and sixth longest in the world. It is called the Yellow River because a huge amount of silt and sediment turns the water into yellow color. The Shang dynasty beta, it ruled from 16 to 1046 BCE. The next dynasty after this Shang is again Zhou dynasty. And they ruled from 11th century till the 3rd century BCE. Then this again Zhou period is also known as the classical period of China. Because during this period actually culture developed to its great heights, and during all these dynasties basic character of the Chinese society remained almost same. Now the society, again king was all powerful. Under him was many classes of a people. Noblemen were the next to the this king, who helped the king during the war and conquest. Under them, under king and under this noblemen, we were having again merchants, craftsmen, farmers, slaves. And people respected their elders and ancestors. They formed clans. Clans means group of peoples of same generation. They formed a clan, and family was the sacred unit. And who was the head of the family? Again, the head of the family, whosoever he was, definitely it is a male member only who was there as a head of the family. He was given a great respect. Women, they are supposed to work within the houses only. Religion, again as in all the river valley civilization, the Chinese also worship the forces of nature. The earth was worshipped in the form of earthen mound. They worshipped the god which was called as a Shangti, the ruler above. The meaning of Shangti is a ruler above. Chinese believed in the ancestor worship also. From childhood, they again teach the children to again respect the wisdom and achievement of their ancestor. Taoism and Confucianism were the again were the two most popular religion and philosophical system founded by again Lao Tzu again founded a Taoism, and Confucianism was founded by Confucius, okay, respectively. Occupation, again agriculture was the main occupation of the people. Chinese developed a highly organized network for the irrigation, and because of the irrigation their agriculture production was increased. Rice, wheat, barley, sorghum, millet, soybean and tea were the main crop of the Chinese. Again the Chinese were the first to again cultivate tea. The cultivation of tea again in other country began only after the 18th century. Okay, next comes our sericulture. Sericulture is again a production of the silk. Now Chinese were the first to produce the silk from the silkworm. The process of producing this silk from the silkworm is called as a sericulture. Again it forms an important part of the Chinese tradition. Silkworms were specially reared for the process. Again reared means again they were kept, they were again means पालना. It is actually मतलब उसको पालते थे, silkworm को पालते थे. They were again rearing the silkworm for this process, and silk was their chief item of export, means they were sending the silk to the other countries. Now script, again this Chinese civilization, they were having a pictographic or you may say ideographic script, okay. They wrote on a silk cloth with a fine brush. The earliest Chinese were found earliest Chinese writing were found on animal bones, okay. Again this is a remarkable thing. The Chinese script which they made earlier is again, since they are still they are using that, there are very little changes in the script, okay. This is the Chinese script. Now next comes our trade. Again Chinese had a good trade relation with the countries like Egypt, Mesopotamia, Iran and India. Their chief exports, beta, what they actually main things which they were exporting were the silk, chinaware, tea and paper. The Chinese were the first to grow tea for a medicinal purpose. Later on it became the popular beverages all over the world. They were the first to produce silk from the silkworm. They were also the first to make the porcelain or chinaware, which was a kind of glazed pottery, and it was decorated with a beautiful designs. They were first to produce paper. Again this was all, beta. In next video we will do the rest of the chapter. Have a good day.